Welcome, my name is Kinga and I started making YouTube videos to document for myself and my closest friend how I am reinventing myself and my whole life after divorce. If you're not a friend but you found this video, well done, feel free to like and subscribe. The main purpose of me sitting down every week and expressing my thoughts verbally, recording it and publishing it on YouTube is actually to help myself organize my thoughts on topics that occupy my mind the most at a given time. Organizing these thoughts, writing some of them down, making sense of it all, helps me find answers to questions that are keeping me busy, questions I'm looking to find an answer to, and I have to admit that this process does bring me clarity at most times, and it does help me understand things and myself better. I don't just come up with answers from my own head. I kind of do my own research. I read and listen to my favorite people who have relevant experience or knowledge, writers, experts, mentors, coaches, teachers I admire and look up to. And I also interview friends at times to see how everyday people think about certain issues and topics. I consider all their views, I digest them, compare them, analyze them, and I add my own thoughts and make my own conclusions. I met a guy some weeks ago. I met like loads of guys in the past year after my divorce, but I have spent the most time with this guy and I feel very comfortable with him. Our story and the intensity and the speed of how we got together is very special, and I like a lot of things about him and about us, to such an extent that I think it has a great potential to become my next long chapter, unless I decide to end it because I have some doubts. Why? For no particular reason, other than the fact that I always overanalyze things. And having doubts at times is what sets me back a little bit right now, because I always told myself that when the right person comes, I'm sure I will have zero doubts. So maybe he is not the guy I've been waiting for, or maybe I'm just self-sabotaging in this particular situation. But if I'm being truly honest, I know that 8 years ago, I had zero doubt when I met my ex, and we moved together relatively quickly, and we spent a wonderful 8 years together, and still ended up getting divorced. So having zero doubts is not always a guarantee for a lifelong relationship. But I also believe that a relationship doesn't have to last forever in order to be meaningful and play a very important part in your life. I think it's essential to feel a basic compatibility, share the same values. Even if you have like different, backgrounds, religion, belief, whatever, you gotta share the basic values. To me, it's also important to feel comfortable with the other in every situation. Be able to trust each other, offer transparency, have great sex. And I also require that we can communicate well and, most importantly, resolve conflict well, with love, respect, and without lasting damage. This person definitely has many of the qualities I would be looking for in a man. Ticked many boxes on my list of requirements from a partner, and we have also proved to be able to resolve issues, conflicts well. But I'm still trying to find the answer to this question in my head. How do I know if he's the one? Well, you don't. All the relationship coaches and spiritual teachers I read and listen to say the same thing. The concept of waiting for, or looking for, or finding the one is wrong, misleading, flawed. The one doesn't exist. There are many potential partners, and basically you just gotta pick one and make it work. Or if you approach it from the law of attraction teachings, then know what you want, have a clear idea or a vision of it, and become it, so you can attract it to your reality, since like attracts like. Dr. Joe Dispenza also says that we should make a list of what we want in a partner and become that ourselves in order to attract the same thing. Someone who is a vibrational match to our desire. Abraham Hicks also says that you gotta prioritize your own connection first to your inner being. And if that connection is established, you are in alignment with your higher self, then you will attract someone who is also in alignment. And that's a beautiful union. Dr. Joe said it somewhere that once in a relationship, then it's not the relationship you gotta work on. but yourself. And when two people who are in harmony with themselves come together, then it will work smoothly and easily. Of course, there will be times when you fall out of alignment. You may have, like negative emotions. You're going through some hard times in your life. You feel cranky or tired or stressed, whatever, or just find things, difficult to deal with. And that's a time when you have to excuse yourself, take a minute, meditate, go for a walk, or whatever helps you get back into alignment, and then come back to the arena, feeling centered. And if you can do that, you and your relationship will thrive, because it is not the other person who pisses you off. It is you who let things the other person says or does piss you off. But if you accept that your emotions are your responsibility, which Abraham Hicks also talks a lot about, then basically you can have full control over how certain things make you feel and how you react to them. And if you can live by that rule, saying my emotions are my responsibility, then nothing the other person does or doesn't do could influence you negatively. It really works, but kind of good luck becoming this enlightened person. Probably takes a lifetime to get there. But it's a good advice. And I actually started to pay attention more to how I'm feeling, not just about myself, but about others. And now I know that when I'm highly critical of myself and or others, it's a sign that I'm kind of like disconnected from my inner being. Abraham Hicks also says that if we are in alignment, it doesn't matter who we pick. If our main priority is being in that happy place ourselves, then no one can disappoint or upset us. We will not even notice if someone, is trying to hurt us if we are in harmony. But that's a state that, can be hard to reach, or at least difficult to maintain nonstop. Basically, Abraham says that you should just pick one, and as long as you are where you should be, you will be happy, regardless of the other person. Because you should not be looking for your happiness in other people and your relationship with them. You should not enter into a relationship with the expectations of it making you happy. It is you and your connection to yourself that can truly make you happy. And therefore, your disconnection is basically what gets you unhappy. So there you go. The recipe to happiness is very simple. I like when Neil Donald Walsh mentions it in one of his talks, that the right reason to enter into a relationship is not to look for what we can get out of it, but instead look for what we can add to it, give or contribute to it. He also wrote that your life is not about you, but about the people whose life you touch. So that's a very different approach, right? It's about giving rather than receiving. And that's a beautiful thought right there. And it may free us from this heavy burden of looking for the right person who's going to love us the right way. But instead, looking at how we can give to and love that other person without expecting anything in return. Again, it's a very nice thought, and I'm totally on board with it, but good luck getting to that state before you reach 60. So much wisdom, so much to learn in such short time, right? But I agree that whenever I feel in harmony or in alignment with myself, I only see the good in others. I see people through the eyes of God or the divine in me. And all I want to express is my love for others instead of desperately wanting to get love out of them. And when you give, you will also receive. Because whatever you send out there comes back to you. This concept, and all these teachings resonate with me. I know they are my truth too. But I cannot always look at the other through the eyes of God or with love. I'm not always in alignment with my higher self. Because when I'm tired, stressed, or, just basically not in harmony with myself, I can get very critical of myself and others. And probably that's when I have the most doubts too about relationship potentials. And at times, I just want to call or ask someone wiser than me to tell me if this is the person I should invest my time and energy into. But now I know that no one can or should answer this question for me. Nothing is predetermined, and I have the power in me to make things work or not work. If there's something that you dislike about the other person, you can overlook it when you are centered, when you are in that happy place. But as soon as you are out of alignment, that thing will bother you the most. So I think it's important to pick someone who doesn't have many things we dislike or disagree with, or things that have the potential to irritate us or disturb us. Once we feel they do, it's a sign that we are not in alignment, but it is also the state when we sometimes make very bad decisions based on all these, factors that suddenly bother us about the other. Just remember, in reality, it's not the other person that bothers you most of the time. And it's also important not to make a decision when you are not in harmony with yourself, because your perception is probably distorted. I heard Abraham Hicks saying once, maybe not even in a relationship context, but they said it, that you should make a decision and line up with it. To me, it means that if I make my mind up about choosing a particular person, saying yes to a relationship, then all I gotta do is believe in it, see it, feel it working out, and then it will. And if I'm constantly looking for or looking at the negative aspects or the factors that bring me doubts or things that I may not like about the other, then I'm giving more and more focus and energy to all these negative thoughts and things, and that will make them grow stronger, stand out more, irritate me more, and it will promote our separation instead of our coming and staying together. I can see that. I also believe and know that we create our reality, so it's not like we are passive participants, and if we pick right, our relationship will work. If we pick wrong, it will not. That is partly true, but apart from picking the right person, we also have the power to influence the outcome of the union and the future of it. Do I believe it will work, or do I keep on doubting? Am I giving energy to the positive or to the negative aspects? Do I focus on making it work, or do I neglect the steps I need to take in order for it to work? Am I looking at the other person through the eyes of my higher divine self, the one that sees the good in all humans? Or am I allowing myself to be grumpy, cranky, controlling, and critical? Am I in alignment or disconnected? These are the questions you have to ask yourself when you are evaluating someone and your relationship with them. What if I feel centered and in harmony and still have doubts? Or even feel certain that this person is not my person? Well, that's a better state to make a decision. However, I don't necessarily have to make a decision. I think I just need to focus on the end goal, which is my happiness and harmony. Take the guy out of the equation. Just see myself living in a happy and harmonious relationship with myself and another person. And if this guy is the one who will fit that story, if he's the one who can become that person for me, then he will. If not, then another person who is a vibrational match to me and my desire will show up. It's not just my belief, but also my experience, and it's law of attraction, and it has to happen that way. Okay, so instead of giving more space to your doubts and questions when assessing if your current partner is right for you or not, just visualize what you want without putting a particular face or person in that vision. Just focus on how it makes you feel. And if your current person is not the one to fit that picture, the universal forces will remove them. Keep focusing on your desired feelings, how you want to feel in your relationship, and whoever can contribute to make you feeling that way will show up in your reality. Stop analyzing your partner and your compatibility. It will only bring more attention to things you possibly do not like about them, and the more focus you give to them, the more energy you bring to them too. Instead of magnifying the qualities or factors that can hinder your relationship to work, imagine the kind of relationship you want for yourself and do not lose focus. The more you see and feel it happen, the closer you are to bringing it to your reality, and the wrong people will leave, and the right one will walk into your life according to the law of attraction. That is what I'm going to do as well. Let me know your thoughts, success stories, and even questions in the comment section below. Feel free to like and share this video and subscribe to my channel for more stupid rants on relationships, love, law of attraction, manifestation, my personal success stories and failure. I hope to keep in touch. Take care. Bye-bye.